Hey folks, Pastor Jordan here bringing you this week's sermon preview from here outside at West Glenville Reformed Church, right here by the gazebo where we've been worshiping this summer, where we will continue to when there's nice weather. So we'll be outside for sure this coming Sunday, Sunday 10 a.m. Eastern Time, right here at the gazebo. Come on out and bring your chairs, and we'll gather here on this coming Labor Day weekend for just for a joyful worship service, singing outside, enjoying this beautiful space that God has created for us. We'll gather, we'll worship. It will be a blessing. It looks like Sunday is going to be great weather, so a nice day for gathering for worship, and then getting back to our whatever our holiday weekend plans might be. So I invite you to come be with us here in person on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're not able to make it, of course, feel free to join us right here on the YouTube channel. We look forward to seeing you here. Then the following Sunday, September 12th, it's Rally Day, and it's going to be our first standard indoor worship day. We're switching to worshiping indoors starting on September 12th, with one proviso being that if the weather's nice, we're going to be outside. So just because if it's nice weather, we don't want to waste it. We have this beautiful space that was gifted to our church, this gazebo, this space around it. We want to honor that gift and enjoy this gift of creation, and continue to worship outside when the weather's nice. So starting September 12th, we'll be indoors for worship, except for super nice weather days. We'll be outside until the fall weather turns, and we'll be inside regularly. For indoor worship, as per our current policy, which you can find on our website, the only thing that we're doing is offering a social distance section in the rear of the church, which is farthest away from the folks that are up front. It's there just for folks who feel more comfortable worshiping in church, but in a situation where they're masked and socially distanced. So if you do come to worship indoors, that space is there for people who want it. It's totally optional for people to go into that space, but it's there for anyone for whom it is more comfortable to be so. And so that's all we're doing. And some exciting news, a little bit later in September, not for Rally Day, because we got to sort of get our wheels turning again, but it looks like we're going to be bringing the church choir back. With not a full force of singers, but we've got some folks that are ready to sing. So we're going to be doing that probably a little bit later in September. You'll see some familiar faces up in the choir loft here at church, or maybe out here in the gazebo. We might have them, standing around the gazebo singing together that way. But either way, this is some signs of maybe a little bit of hope, as our beautiful words that we have been using as a backdrop here remind us. So those are just some announcements. Oh, also Rally Day, we're going to be having a cookout, picnic, bring a dish to share kind of thing. We're going to provide like hot dogs and hamburgers, that kind of thing on the grill, but if you want to share a dish, hopefully the weather will be nice on September 12th, and we can gather out here around the gazebo and celebrate the new program year coming back, and all that brings. And so September 12th here after church. If you can bring a dish to share, that's great. If you can't, that's great too. We'll have plenty of food, I'm sure, and it'll be a good afternoon celebration of our new program here. So I invite you to come and be a part of that as well. That's Sunday, September 12th. Worship is at 10, and everything else follows. With that, now on to the sermon preview. This is our final week of the summer season before the program year begins. It's our final sermon series week of the summer. And we're getting to the end of the series on Revelation. We've been in Revelation for the last 4 weeks, and we got one more week, and it's just such a rich book. It's such a blessing to all of us as those who follow Jesus Christ. And so we come to the culmination of this book and what it brings, and this vision of the new Jerusalem. Now, everything was written in the eyes of the Jewish culture of the time, with the city of Jerusalem being sort of the center of their worship. And so it's phrased as the New Jerusalem. But we might imagine it as a new city or a new people of God or whatever that might look like. And we're going to examine what are the different parts of this vision of this new creation. There's a couple of things that I think are so important that we'll pull out of it. One of them being in between the two parts that we're going to read is it talks about the gates and how the gates of heaven are there, but they're never closed. The gates are always open. And I, as somebody who sometimes needs to be reminded of an open gate in front of me, that's really refreshing to hear that. And so we'll hear that those gates are always open, always welcoming and inviting us in to that new creation. Isn't that what Jesus Christ is all about? Welcoming us in constantly over and over again to a new creation, a new life in Christ. So there's that. And then there's this beautiful image about the river of life that flows through the city. And it flows around this tree, and the leaves heal the nations. And nothing accursed grows there. It's just this beautiful vision of wholeness and completeness. We'll take a look at that in more depth. And lastly, the words of the one who is seated on the throne. We're back to the throne room vision, right? But now the throne room is in this new city. And the one seated on the throne says these words, "See, I am making all things new." It's important to note that. It doesn't say, I destroyed all this stuff and now here's a whole bunch of new things that I'm going to create. No, it says I'm making all things new. It's a remaking of the things already in existence. The things that are already here are being refreshed, renewed, restored, made new. I'm making all things new. Not I'm destroying all things so that there can be new things. So often the understanding of this book of Revelation is a total destruction of creation so that something else can be put into its place. But that's not the words of the one seated on the throne. There's a new creation being made. And you know what's really cool? You and I, and us as followers of Christ, we're a part of that new creation. We're invited by those open gates into that new creation to sit along the river by the tree of life and look at those leaves that he